Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is the story of how I ended up with one of my favorite watches, the Tudor Black Bay Chronograph Panda. Funny enough, the white dial was always my first choice, but like many of us in the watch world, I had to settle at first. I actually picked up the reverse Panda version thinking I could grow to love it, and while it has its charms, something kept pulling me back to the white dial. What followed was a series of unexpected events, good timing, some lucky conversations that eventually led me to the exact watch I have been chasing from the start. So, if you ever had to convince yourself to love the second best watch or chase a dream piece across 80s of months of waitlists, you're going to relate to this one. Stick around, drop a like if you have been through something similar, and don't forget to subscribe if you don't want to miss any more real watch stories like this. Back in 2023, it wasn't easy to find Tudor chronographs. The Panda hype was real, and even Tudor had started developing waitlists for popular models. I just come off a high of getting my Rolex Datejust for my wedding, and I was already itching for a sporty chrono. That's when things got interesting. The reverse Panda came into my life through the same AD who helped me secure my Rolex Datejust 41. We had built a genuine relationship over several months, sharing watch stories, sharing special moments, preferences, and I remember always stopping by the boutique just to say hi or browse casually. On one visit, I mentioned how much I appreciated Tudor Black Bay chronograph line. I told her I was eyeing on the white dial version for a while, the Panda variant. It had the perfect sporty meets classic balance that just stuck in my mind. That's when she told me she had a black dial chrono, aka the reverse Panda, on hold for another customer. The guy hadn't responded in days. She said that if I wanted it, it was mine. It caught me off guard, and in the excitement of the moment, I said yes. I wanted a chronograph. I liked the look, and I had built trust with her, so it felt right. I bought it home and told myself I would grow to love it. And for a while, I tried. I wore it maybe 5 times, adjusted the strap just to get the perfect fit, and even took a few wrist shots thinking it would grow on me. But the Panda was still in the back of my mind. Every time I saw someone post a white dial on Instagram or YouTube, that little watch itch came back. Then one day, out of nowhere, I got a message from a friend who said he was searching high and low for the exact reverse Panda configuration that I had. That was the moment I knew. I realized I had been holding onto a watch I didn't truly connect with, and now I had the chance to pass it on to someone who actually wanted it as their first choice. I offered to him at MSRP plus tax, with sticker still intact. He was thrilled, and honestly, I was relieved. Still, I was back to square one. Letting go of the reverse Panda lifted a weight off my shoulders, but I knew I had to tread carefully. I didn't want to tell my original SA that I had passed on a watch that she got for me. In the 80 world, that could be a huge red flag. It's the kind of thing that could make you look like a flipper, even if you're not. And if there's one thing you learn quickly in this hobby, it's that reputation matters. So I decided to keep my decision under wraps and began a quiet search for the version I really wanted. This time, I knew exactly what I was after. No second guessing, no compromises. It had to be the white dial Tudor Black Bay chronograph. The Panda was the one that stuck with me from the start, and I was finally ready to chase it down. I started popping into other boutiques casually, never showing too much eagerness, but always asking the right questions. It was a mix of strategy, patience, and timing. The hunt was on again. Eventually, I visited another AD and met a younger sales associate who had just started working there. From the beginning, the energy was different. He wasn't pushy or overly scripted, just someone genuinely excited to talk about watches. We struck up a long conversation, sharing thoughts on the Tudor, Rolex, and how crazy the market has been lately. I could tell he picked up the fact that I wasn't just another guy looking for a Rolex to flip. I knew enough about the watch game to hold a real conversation, and that mutual enthusiasm helped me build an instant connection. While we were chatting, I was wearing my Rolex Datejust 41, the blue dial, fluted bezel, Jubilee bracelet. He noticed and asked where I got it, and I told him it was a wedding gift from a wife during our ceremony in Hawaii. He smiled and said, "That's the watch most people buy Tudors, hoping to get eventually." It made me pause for a second. That model, especially the blue dial in Jubilee, was incredibly hard to find at the time. It reminded how much more meaningful a watch becomes when it's tied to a life moment. After a while, I mentioned I had been on the lookout for the Tudor Black Bay Chronograph Panda on a steel bracelet. To my surprise, he paused and said, "We actually had one in the back." My heart jumped a little. He disappeared for a few minutes and returned with the watch. The moment I tried it on, I knew this was it. The white dial popped in a way the Reserve Panda never quite did. It felt balanced, clean, and confident, with the perfect blend of sporty and refined that makes it such a versatile piece. I asked him if this was available to be purchased, half expecting him to say it was to be spoken for or part of some internal list. But instead, he smiled and said, "It's yours if you want it." Just like that. No drama, no red tape. He told me I was his very first watch sale since starting at the boutique, and you could tell it meant something to him. That moment made the whole experience even more memorable. I left the Panda in the bag, a grin on my face, a fresh essay contact in my phone, hoping it would be a start of another solid relationship. Once I got home, I sent him a thank you email after the sale. I let him know how much I appreciated the experience and told him the Tudor Chronograph Panda was already becoming one of my favorite pieces. I also casually mentioned that I'll be interested in a Submariner somewhere down the line. It wasn't a hard ask, just part of the conversation. He responded kindly, saying he'd definitely keep me in mind once he got the green light to sell Rolexes. It felt one of those genuine, no-pressure exchanges that makes this hobby so rewarding. A few months later, I got a message from him. He could now officially sell Rolex. I was really hyped. In my head, I thought, alright, I got two strong AD relationships now. That kind of access is rare, especially with how competitive Rolex allocations were getting. I was hopeful, thinking maybe I'd get a call one day for the sub or even something unexpected. It felt like I was building something solid again, the kind of connection that could lead to those dream pieces the right way. But after a while, the silence set in. I didn't get any updates, no follow-ups. Eventually, I learned he no longer worked there. I won't lie, it stung a bit. You build a report, get your hopes up, and then, just like that, it's gone. But it was also a reality check. People move on, boutiques change, and while those relationships are a big part of this game, the most valuable ones are the folks who have the staying power and can truly advocate for you over time. Today, my Tudor Chronograph Panda is in my regular rotation. I wear it to the office, out with friends, even to casual barbecues. It's that kind of piece that just works, sporty but not too flashy, reliable, and full of presence on the wrist. I lost count of how many compliments it's gotten. One time, a stranger at a restaurant stopped me and said, "Hey, is that a Tudor Panda?" He was wearing a 36mm two-tone Datejust himself, and we ended up chatting about watches for a good 10 minutes, like we'd known each other for years. That is the beauty of this hobby. It's not just about watches, it's about the people you meet through them. What I love about this Panda is how it balances my collection. My Datejust brings the elegance and history. It's my wedding watch, my dresser go-to. But the Tudor brings the edge. It's a chunkier, more tool watchy, but still refined. I like the contrast. It gives me options depending on the day, my outfit, or just the vibe I'm feeling. But most importantly, the Panda is a watch with a story. It's more than just a steel, sapphire, and a dial. It represents the chase, the ups, the downs, and trying to get the piece you really want. It represents the relationships with my authorized dealers, friends, and strangers alike. And it represents the joy of finding something that not only looks great, but makes you feel special when you wear it. This is the heart of this hobby for me, and the Tudor Chronograph Panda, it's earned its place. So, if you're ever debating between the black or white dial, or even wondering if Tudor's worth the hype, I hope my story helps. Sometimes it's not about finding the best watch, it's about finding your watch. And this one, it's definitely mine. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you hit that like button, drop a comment about your favorite chronograph, and subscribe for more stories from the world of watches. See you in the next one, and keep clocked in.